So what's the sexiest party game in the world? The one I'm playing! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am fat, I am naked, therefore this is the naked truth. And it being the naked truth, this topic is selected by the beautiful Trisha Hirschberger, who has elected for us to be naked so that we show that we're honest and open. Not that it's a sexy thing, because I don't need to be naked to be sexy, and she knows it. And further, there is a cat being annoying outside. I'm going to go put some pants on. Okay, so, yes, I'm now wearing pants because I'm not going to do this naked with Kitty. This is the wrong kind of kitty to be naked with. Isn't that right, Bob? Yes. Yes, he wants to be in the video until I actually put him in the video. Hopefully he'll get the message now. Let me put him down. We're actually not supposed to edit these, so I apologize for the feline interruption in the editing. So, yes, I have a hair on my face now. Anyway, so I am not naked anymore. I am now wearing shorts, but, and I'm bleeding from my arm because he scratched me accidentally. But we are talking about sexy party games, and this is a field that I know very little about because, well, let me put it to you this way. The parties where there were sexy games, my friends were like, Richard wouldn't be interested in going to this. And I actually got shown a video once of the sexy party games that they were showing. There was a fellow, I like to call this particular gentleman Sphincterus the Turtle Nose because of his obsession with his own rear end. This man would step on a scale and weigh himself and then use the lavatory and car. And after a car goes by and he uses the lavatory, he would weigh himself again so he would know exactly how much he deposited in the lavatory. And he showed me a video once of him in his sexy party game. He was dry humping another dude. And I said, "You're gay?" He says, "It's not gay, it's a dominance thing. I didn't have an erection." Personally, I mean, I'm not that much of an expert on homosexuality, but generally, if you're dry humping another dude, that's gay. This is why I didn't go to drunken parties with this guy, because, you know, he was an a-hole, and Sphincterus the Turtle Nose. And that was a thing that they would have these parties, and they were very unpleasant things to be at. And to be quite frankly honest with you, you can't get me at any party. I'm more likely to spend the evening talking to the family dog. I'm not a big party person. I don't enjoy parties. I don't enjoy being around people I don't know all that well. And I'm very, just always been very private. Now, there is the opportunity I had in college. I never was invited to these parties, and I was never a big party hound either, but I was a theater geek. And I remember, you know, I would go, we'd have a play, and there'd be a cast party, and I, of course, wouldn't go because they suck. And, I mean, in high school, I had theater, and there were cast parties, and I didn't go to the cast parties because of the simple reason of people at those parties would use a lot of drugs. And I don't care for drugs. And I don't want to get in jail because I was around people using drugs. So there was that. And then in college, you know, I knew that there were these wild parties going on where these theater people were getting around and running around naked and all that. But the theater people I knew were much like Sphincterus the Turtle Nose and his group of friends. They didn't understand limits. Like, you know, there was one time some guy, for a joke, started kissing people. We were all sitting down in a line. There were about 5 of us. 4 of them were girls, and then there was me at the end of the line. And he kissed the 4 girls. He tries to kiss me. I put my hand up to stop him. And this particular fellow then wrapped his hands around my shoulders and tried to force me to kiss him as hard as he could, stopping only when he realized he couldn't overpower me. Yeah. Not playing sexy party games with those kind of people. So you can tell right now I have a very negative view of sexy party games Because the people I know who played those games were real jerks. And, you know, I have to say, on the one hand, if you have to be around people and do those things, you need to make sure they're really good people. And then further along the line, if you're going to play sexy party games, you need to understand one thing about sexy party games. No means no. I don't care if you're playing spin the bottle. If you spin the bottle and you don't want to kiss that person, no means no. And if somebody comes up and says, hey, you know, we're playing a game here, you need to have fun, really the answer should be, please leave the party. We're not going to deal with peer pressure here. You shouldn't peer pressure anyone into doing something they don't want to do. So, I mean, really, that's the thing about sexy party games. I mean, I could tell you one of the worst experiences I had with my group of friends. Well, ex-friends. I'm not friends with any of these people anymore. I don't speak to them. We went to the Seven Veils. It's in Hollywood. It's a strip club. And we went in the middle of the day where the ugly strippers are apparently stripping. That's how that works. And this one guy, he was leaving for the military, so he went out there and he bought everybody a lap dance, except for me, because I refused to get a lap dance. Because, quite frankly, number one, I had a stomach ache. I was feeling very ill. I was suffering from potassium deficiency, and I was all swollen up. And I didn't know it and didn't have medical. And then, secondly, the women just weren't that attractive to me. I mean, you know, some of them were rather... Well, they just weren't that attractive to me. I mean, I can't describe it any other way. They just weren't. I mean, I generally don't form an opinion of how attractive I find a woman until I get to know them a little bit better. That's normally my thing. It's not always true, but it's normally my thing. So, and of course this guy, he just wouldn't leave it alone until I screamed at him to leave me alone. Of course, I had a really bad stomach ache, and I probably would have thrown up all over her if I had taken the lap dance. So... there's that. But yeah, I mean, sometimes people just don't understand that no means no. And here is a basic rule. When you want someone to do something and you're asking them, don't ask them the fourth time. If they say no 3 times, they mean no. Stop asking. So that's basically my take on the topic. Now, I don't know any dirty party games. I've heard of, everybody's heard of strip poker, but again, don't care. I don't have the kind of body I like to show off, and you might find it surprising if you see across my channels. I have a channel where I exercise in my undergarments because I can't find a Speedo that fits. So, yeah, you would think that I'd be very cool with nudity, but yeah, I guess I am. I'm not a chauvinist. I don't like to show off my body. It's not all that great of a body. You know, it's a lot of muscle, it's a lot of fat, it's a lot of scars and broken bits and all those sorts of things. So yeah, never been a fan of that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's the naked truth here. I've said everything I think I can think of to say. Just remember, if you're going to go to a party, stay safe. You know, practice safe sex. Don't get too drunk, and don't do anything you're going to regret in the morning. Alrighty? I hope you all have a safe life. I'm Richard.